The alarm bells screamed through the deep space monitoring station like angry metal birds. Commander Jae-sung Kim dropped his coffee mug and ran toward the main sensor array. The hot liquid splashed across the metal floor, but he did not care. In his 3 years at this remote outpost, the emergency alarms had never sounded. "What do we have?" Jae-sung called out as he reached the control center. His voice carried the calm authority that had made him the perfect choice for this assignment. As the only human at the station, he served as Earth's eyes and ears at the edge of Galactic Council space. Dr. Nira Veltar, the station's Zelanti sensor specialist, looked up from her displays with wide, frightened eyes. Her blue skin had turned pale, and her delicate hands shook as she pointed at the massive screen. "Something big is coming. Very big. And very fast." Admiral HFY stormed into the control room, his Catherian scales clicking together with each heavy step. The tall, reptilian commander had run the monitoring station for 15 years. Nothing surprised him anymore. Until today. "Show me the readings," HFY demanded. His yellow eyes focused on the main display as Nira's fingers danced across her controls. The screen filled with sensor data that made no sense. A massive object was approaching their position at speeds that should have been impossible. The ship appeared to be roughly 2 kilometers long and half a kilometer wide. Its energy signature was unlike anything in the galactic databases. "How fast is it moving?" Jae-sung asked, though he was afraid of the answer. "0.7, light speed," Nira whispered. "No ship should be able to maintain that velocity for more than a few minutes. This one has been at that speed for hours." HFY's scales rattled, a sign of deep concern among his species. What civilization builds ships like that? The design does not match any known technology. HFY's civility sang. Jae-sung studied the sensor readings more carefully. Something about the ship's profile looked familiar, but he could not place it. The long, sleek design reminded him of something from Earth's history, but much larger and far more advanced. "Run a full spectrum analysis," he ordered. "I want to know everything about that ship." Nira's hands flew over her controls. New data appeared on the screen, and her breathing stopped completely. "Commander Kim," she said, in a voice barely above a whisper, "you need to see this." The analysis revealed something that chilled everyone in the room. The ship's basic design patterns matched human engineering principles. The hull composition included materials that were common in Earth's industrial processes. Even the energy signatures showed traces of human technology. "That cannot be right," HFY said. His voice carried disbelief and growing anger. "Human technology is centuries behind the rest of the galaxy. Earth barely has faster than light travel. They certainly do not build warships like this." Jae-sung felt his stomach drop. The ship on their screens was clearly built by humans. But it was impossible. Earth's space fleet consisted of a few patrol vessels and some cargo ships. They had no military technology that could create something like this massive warship. "Are those weapon systems?" he asked, pointing at strange formations along the ship's hull. Nira ran another scan and nodded slowly. "Energy weapon arrays. Missile launchers. Point defense systems. This ship is armed for serious warfare. The weapons are more advanced than anything in our databases." The room fell silent except for the steady beeping of the sensors. Everyone understood what they were looking at. A human warship with technology that surpassed anything the Galactic Council possessed. It was armed, it was fast, and it was heading directly toward Council space. "Send emergency alerts to all Council worlds," HFY ordered. Classification: Extreme threat. Unknown military vessel. Approaching with advanced weapons. "Wait," Jae-sung said. "Let me contact Earth first. There has to be an explanation." "The explanation is that your people have been lying to us," HFY snapped. "Earth claims to be a peaceful, developing world. Yet here comes a warship that makes our best vessels look like toys." Jae-sung opened a communication channel to Earth. The message would take several minutes to reach home, and several more for a reply to return. In the meantime, the mysterious ship continued its approach. "Try to contact the vessel," he suggested. Nira sent out standard first contact protocols on all known frequencies. She broadcast in dozens of languages, including several human dialects. The massive ship maintained complete radio silence. "They are ignoring us," she reported. "Either their communications are down, or they do not want to talk." More data came in as the ship drew closer. The sensor readings became clearer and more frightening. The vessel was not just large and fast. It was also incredibly well armed. Energy readings suggested weapons that could destroy entire fleets. Jae Sung received Earth's reply to his emergency message. The response was brief and confusing. Earth High Command claimed no knowledge of any advanced military vessels. They insisted that all human ships were accounted for and that none possessed technology like what the sensors were showing. "Earth says the ship is not theirs," Jae Sung announced to the control room. "Then who built it?" Zexhai demanded. "The design is clearly human. The materials are human. The energy signatures match human technology patterns. If Earth did not build it, then who did?" The question hung in the air like smoke. Every possibility seemed impossible. Humans did not have the technology to build such a vessel. No other species would copy human design patterns. Yet the evidence was right there on their screens. "Sir," Nira called out, "the ship is slowing down. It is dropping to normal space velocities." "Distance?" Zexhai asked. 12 hours out at current speed." "Whatever they want, we will know soon." Jae Sung stared at the sensor display and felt a chill run down his spine. The ship was beautiful in a deadly way. Its lines were clean and purposeful. It looked like it had been designed by engineers who understood both form and function perfectly. But it also looked like something that could destroy worlds. "Send word to all nearby fleets," Zexhai ordered. "Tell them we may need military support, and get me a direct line to the Galactic Council. They need to know that everything we thought we knew about humanity might be wrong." The mysterious human battleship continued its silent approach, carrying secrets that would change the galaxy forever. The emergency session of the Galactic Council had never been called to order so quickly. Representatives from dozens of species filled the great chamber on Central Station. The air buzzed with nervous energy and worried conversations in 100 different languages. Ambassador Minjun Park sat in Earth's small section, feeling very alone. As humanity's representative to the Council, he had spent years building trust and friendship with other species. Now that trust was crumbling around him like sand. High Counselor Thexmora called for silence with 3 sharp strikes of her ceremonial staff. The Altarian leader's silver skin seemed to glow under the chamber lights as she spoke. "We are here because of a crisis that threatens galactic security. An unidentified warship of human design is approaching Council space." The chamber erupted in angry voices. Representatives demanded answers. Some called for immediate military action. Others suggested that Earth should be expelled from the Council immediately. "The vessel possesses technology far beyond anything humanity has ever demonstrated," Thexmora continued. "Ambassador Park, your people owe us an explanation." Minjun stood slowly and felt every eye in the chamber focus on him. His hands were steady, but his heart was racing. "Honored counselors, Earth High Command has confirmed that this vessel is not part of our official fleet. We have no knowledge of its construction or purpose." "You expect us to believe that?" shouted Counselor Drakthal from the Vorthan delegation. "Human engineers built that ship. Human materials form its hull. Human energy patterns power its systems. Yet you claim ignorance? Ru mode. We consta the Yunjaun. We consta Grem. Canes too." "I speak only the truth," Minjun replied. "Earth's space capabilities are exactly what we have reported to this council. We have no secret military programs. We have no advanced weapons technology. Then explain the ship, demanded Counselor Zinara, of the Hegemony Worlds. Explain how humans suddenly possess warships that surpass our own fleets. Minjun had no answer. The reports from the monitoring station were clear and terrifying. The ship was definitely human, but it represented technology that Earth simply did not possess. At least, not officially. I propose immediate military action, declared Counselor Drakthal. We should destroy this vessel before it can threaten innocent worlds. That would be an act of war against Earth, Minjun said quickly. The ship may be human, but we do not know its intentions. Perhaps it comes in peace. Armed vessels do not approach in peace, Thexmora observed. However, Ambassador Park raises a valid point. We must attempt communication before considering military options. The debate continued for hours. Finally, the Council reached a decision. Earth's patrol ships would be sent to make first contact with the mysterious vessel. If the ship proved hostile, the combined fleets of 6 species would engage it. Captain Sarah Chen received her orders while her patrol ship orbited a mining world on the edge of human space. The message was simple. Proceed immediately to coordinates provided. Attempt contact with unidentified human vessel. Report findings to Council Command. Her small ship was fast but lightly armed. It had been designed for patrol duties, not military engagement. As she changed course toward the mystery ship, she wondered if she was flying to her death. "Captain," called out Lieutenant Park from the sensor station. "I am reading massive energy signatures ahead. Whatever we are flying toward, it is big." Sarah had seen the reports, but nothing had prepared her for the reality of seeing the battleship with her own eyes. It hung in space like a sleeping giant, its dark hull reflecting starlight in patterns that seemed almost alive. "Mother of Earth," whispered Engineer Kim from his station. The battleship was beautiful and terrifying at the same time. Its design was clearly human, but evolved far beyond anything Sarah had ever seen. Smooth curves blended with angular surfaces to create something that looked both artistic and deadly. "Send standard hail on all frequencies," Sarah ordered. "Let them know. We are here." For long minutes, there was no response. The battleship maintained complete silence, while Sarah's ship held position at a respectful distance. Behind them, she knew that alien fleets were gathering, preparing for the worst. Then her communications officer's eyes went wide. "Captain, we are receiving a response. Audio only. And they are speaking Korean." "Put it through," Sarah said. A deep male voice filled the bridge. "Earth Patrol Vessel, this is Admiral Hyun Woo Seo of the deep space battleship Guardian's Promise. You are cleared to approach to within 1,000 meters." Sarah felt relief flood through her. The ship was human after all, even if its technology seemed impossible. "Admiral, this is Captain Sarah Chen of the Earth Patrol ship Bright Star. We have been ordered to make contact and determine your intentions. My intentions are to protect human space and our alien neighbors from threats they do not yet understand," Seo replied. "But I can only discuss this face-to-face with fellow humans. Will you come aboard?" Sarah looked around her bridge. Her crew was young and inexperienced. None of them had ever dealt with anything like this. But orders were orders, and Earth needed answers. "I will transfer to your ship with a small team," she agreed. "But I should warn you that several alien fleets are positioning themselves nearby. Any hostile action will result in immediate military response." Seo's laugh carried no humor. "Captain Chen, if I intended hostile action, those fleets would already be debris. I am here to help, not to conquer. Please come aboard so I can explain." The transfer took 30 minutes. Sarah and 2 of her officers used a shuttle to cross the gap between the ships. As they approached the battleship's hangar bay, the massive doors opened to reveal a space larger than most Earth cities. The technology around them was clearly human but decades ahead of anything Earth produced. The walls seemed to glow with their own light. Machinery moved with perfect silence. Everything was clean and efficient in a way that spoke of advanced engineering. Admiral CO was waiting for them in the hangar. He was a tall man, with gray hair and kind eyes. His uniform was familiar but different, carrying insignia that Sarah did not recognize. When he spoke, his voice carried the weight of long responsibility. "Welcome aboard the Guardian's Promise, Captain Chen. I apologize for the circumstances of our meeting, but time is short. There are things approaching our galaxy that the Council needs to know about. Things that will require all of us working together." Sarah looked around the impossible hangar bay and felt her understanding of the universe shifting. "Admiral, with respect, where did this ship come from? Earth does not have this technology." "Earth has many secrets, Captain," Seo replied sadly. "Some of them are about to be revealed. The question is whether the galaxy will accept what we have been doing in the darkness to keep them safe." Outside the battleship, alien fleets continued to gather, waiting for answers that would change everything they thought they knew about humanity. Admiral Hyun-woo Seo led Captain Sarah Chen through corridors that seemed to stretch forever. The walls of the Guardian's Promise were covered with displays showing star maps, sensor readings, and data streams that Sarah could not understand. Everything was advanced beyond her imagination, yet somehow familiar. "This is impossible," Sarah said as they walked. "Earth does not have the resources to build something like this. We barely have enough funding for our patrol fleet. The Earth that the galaxy knows does not have these resources." Seo agreed. "But there is another Earth that they have never seen. One that has been working in secret for over 50 years. They entered a large conference room with windows that showed the starfield outside. Sarah could see her own small patrol ship in the distance, looking like a toy next to the massive battleship. Beyond that, she could make out the shapes of alien vessels gathering in the darkness. "Please, sit," Seo said, gesturing to a chair at the long table. "What I am about to tell you will sound like fiction, but every word is true." Sarah sat down, her mind racing with questions. "Start with this ship. Where did it come from?" 63 years ago, Earth's deep space exploration program discovered something that changed everything, Seo began. "On a dead world, 40 light-years from Earth, we found ruins, ancient ruins left by a civilization that died out millions of years ago." He touched a control on the table, and holographic images appeared in the air between them. Sarah saw pictures of massive stone structures on an alien world. The architecture was beautiful but strange, unlike anything human or alien that she knew. "Inside these ruins, we found technology," Seo continued. "Not working machines, but plans, designs, instructions for building things that we had never imagined. Faster-than-light drives that could cross the galaxy in weeks, energy weapons that could crack planets, ships that could carry entire cities." Sarah stared at the holographic displays. "If Earth found all this, why keep it secret? This technology could help everyone." "Because we also found warnings," Seo said quietly. "The civilization that built these ruins was destroyed by something from outside our galaxy, something that travels between star systems, like a plague, consuming everything in its path." The Admiral touched another control, and the holograms changed. Now Sarah saw images that made her blood run cold. Massive ship formations that seemed to stretch across space. Worlds stripped bare of life. Star systems turned into graveyards. The ancient records called them the Devourers. Seo explained. "They come every few million years, sweep through a galaxy, take everything useful, and move on. According to the timeline we found, they are due to return to our galaxy soon." "How soon?" Sarah asked, though she was afraid of the answer. "Based on the ancient calculations, they should arrive within the next few months," Seo replied. "Earth's secret exploration program has been preparing for this for decades. We have built ships, trained crews, and developed weapons. All in secret, because we knew the galaxy was not ready to hear this truth. Sarah felt dizzy. Everything she thought she knew about Earth and humanity was wrong. How many ships like this do we have? 2. 12 battleships of the Guardian class. CO answered. Each one built using the ancient technology. Each one crewed by volunteers who gave up their old lives to protect the galaxy. We have been patrolling the empty space between galaxies for 20 years, watching for signs of their return. The door to the conference room opened, and Ambassador Min-jun Park entered. He looked tired and worried, his diplomat's composure cracking under the strain. "Admiral," he said with a formal bow. "The Council is demanding answers. They want to know if Earth has been lying to them about our capabilities. We have been protecting them," CO replied firmly. "Everything we have done has been to keep this galaxy safe. But now, the time for secrets is ending." Min-jun sat down heavily in a nearby chair. "Half the Council wants to declare war on Earth. They think we have been preparing to conquer them. The other half wants to surrender immediately, assuming we have already won." "Show them this," CO said, activating the holographic display again. The images of the ancient ruins and the approaching threat filled the air. "Tell them the truth about what is coming." Captain Chen studied the data scrolling past in the holograms. "Even with ships like this, can we stop them? The ancient civilization had similar technology, and they were destroyed." "The ancients fought alone," CO explained. "Each species in their galaxy tried to save itself. They never worked together. We have something they did not have: cooperation. Humans, Catherians, Zelanti, Altarians, all the Council species working as one force. If the alien fleets will accept human leadership," Min-jun said doubtfully. "Right now, they are more likely to shoot at us than follow us." CO stood and walked to the window. Outside, more alien ships were arriving every hour. The gathering fleet represented the combined military might of dozens of worlds. It should have been an impressive sight, but Sarah knew it would not be enough against what was coming. "There is something else," CO said without turning around. "Our long-range sensors have detected the edge of their advance force. They are already in the galaxy. The main invasion will begin in less than 6 months." The room fell silent. Sarah felt the weight of impossible responsibility settling on her shoulders. As one of the few humans who now knew the truth, she would have to help convince the galaxy to unite against a threat most of them could not imagine. "What do you need from me?" she asked. "Help us convince the Council that we are not their enemies," CO replied. "Help them understand that everything we have done was to protect them, and help them prepare for the greatest battle this galaxy has ever seen." Min-jun activated his communicator. "Council Command, this is Ambassador Park. I am ready to address the emergency session. Please prepare for classified briefing materials of the highest priority." "Are you sure about this?" Sarah asked. "Once we tell them, there is no going back. The galaxy will never be the same. See there. The galaxy is about to change whether we tell them or not," CO said grimly. "At least this way, they will have a chance to fight back." Outside the conference room windows, alien warships continued to gather, their crews unaware that they were about to learn the most important truth in galactic history. Humanity had not been hiding weapons to conquer their neighbors. They had been hiding weapons to save them all. The Galactic Council chamber had never been so quiet. Ambassador Min-jun Park stood at the central podium, his hands steady despite the weight of what he was about to reveal. Around him, representatives from dozens of species waited with expressions ranging from anger to fear. "Honored counselors," he began, "what I am about to share will challenge everything we thought we knew about galactic history. 3 days ago, we discovered that humanity has been keeping secrets. Today, I will tell you why those secrets were necessary. The holographic projector activated, filling the chamber with images from the ancient ruins. Gasps echoed through the room as the representatives saw technology that surpassed anything their civilizations had ever achieved. High Counselor Thexmora leaned forward in her chair. These ruins are real? They are real, Minjun confirmed. And so is the threat they warned us about. The Devourers are returning to our galaxy. They have already begun their approach. The chamber erupted in shocked voices and panicked conversations. Several representatives called for immediate evacuation of their home worlds. Others demanded proof of these claims. Show them the sensor data, called out Counselor Zinara. Minjun activated another display. Long-range sensor readings filled the air, showing massive energy signatures at the galaxy's edge. The readings were impossible to ignore or explain away. Admiral Zexhai's voice cut through the noise. I can confirm these readings. My own sensors detected these signatures 2 hours ago. Something very large is moving through the outer star systems. On board the Guardian's Promise, Admiral Seo watched the council session through a secure communication link. Captain Chen stood beside him, studying the tactical displays that showed the approaching threat more clearly than the council's sensors ever could. They are moving faster than we expected, Seo observed. The advanced scouts will reach inhabited systems within days, not weeks. How many ships do they have? Chen asked, though she was not sure she wanted to know the answer. Based on what we can see so far, at least 10,000 vessels in the advance force alone. Seo replied. The main invasion fleet will be much larger. Chen felt her stomach drop. Even with all 12 of humanity's secret battleships, they would be completely outnumbered. Can we stop them? Not alone, Seo admitted. But we are not alone anymore. On the main display, new contacts were appearing throughout the sector. Ships were emerging from what appeared to be empty space, their advanced stealth systems finally revealed. Chen counted 5 more human battleships decloaking near major population centers. Your fleet has been hidden all this time? She asked. For 20 years, we have maintained silent watch over the most important worlds in the galaxy, Seo explained. 1 battleship protecting Earth, 1 guarding the Altarian homeworld, others positioned at key strategic points. We have been the galaxy's shield, even though they never knew we existed. The council session continued to debate the revelations when new alarms began sounding. Emergency communication channels opened from monitoring stations throughout the galaxy. The reports were all the same. Massive, unidentified fleets were entering occupied space at multiple points. Council command, came a panicked voice from a border station. We have hostile contacts entering the Vega system. They are destroying everything in their path. Military assistance requested immediately. Similar reports flooded in from 6 other systems. The Devourers had arrived in force, and they were not interested in communication or negotiation. They were simply taking what they wanted and eliminating everything else. All available fleets, respond to invasion coordinates. High Counselor Thexmora ordered. Priority. 1 emergency status. Admiral Zexhai opened a communication channel to his command ship. Mobilize the combined fleet. Set course for the Vega system. Maximum speed. Admiral, came the reply. Our ships cannot match the speed of these invaders. They will have destroyed the system before we arrive. On the Guardian's Promise, Admiral Seo was already giving orders to his crew. All stations, prepare for immediate jump to Vega coordinates. Signal the other Guardian vessels to converge on our position. Sir, called out his tactical officer, the alien fleet is requesting permission to accompany us. They want to follow our lead. Seo smiled grimly. Tell them they are welcome to try to keep up. But warn them that we fight to win, not to look impressive. The jump to faster than light speed was smoother than anything Captain Chen had ever experienced. The Guardian's Promise moved through space as if it was designed for this kind of travel. Around them, the alien fleet struggled to match their velocity. How are you moving so fast? Chen asked. The ancient technology does not just power our weapons, CO explained. It revolutionized everything about space travel. We can cross distances that would take other ships weeks to cover. They dropped out of faster-than-light speed at the edge of the Vega system, and Chen immediately understood why the monitoring station had sounded so panicked. The system was filled with devourer ships of every size and configuration. Some were as large as space stations. Others moved in swarms, like deadly insects. Enemy fleet composition. Approximately 800 vessels, reported the tactical officer. They are systematically dismantling the orbital infrastructure around Vega Prime. RB. Enemy fleet. RB. RB Akane. The colony? CO asked. Still intact, but they are evacuating the population to underground shelters. Chen watched as the devourer ships worked with terrifying efficiency. They were not just destroying things randomly. They were harvesting resources, technology, and anything else that might be useful. It was like watching a machine strip apart a clock. All Guardian vessels, attack formation Alpha, CO ordered. Target the largest ships first. Show them what human engineering can do. The 12 human battleships spread out across space and opened fire simultaneously. Their weapons lit up the darkness like artificial stars, striking devourer vessels with energy that could melt mountains. The results were immediate and impressive. 3 of the largest enemy ships exploded in brilliant flashes of light. Smaller vessels scattered as human missiles found their targets with impossible accuracy. Direct hit on the command vessel, reported the weapons officer. Enemy formation is breaking up. Chen stared at the tactical display in amazement. The human ships were not just winning. They were dominating a force that should have overwhelmed them through sheer numbers. How are we so effective against them? She asked. Because we studied their tactics for 60 years, Seo replied. We know their weaknesses. We know how they think. And we built our ships specifically to exploit those weaknesses. The alien fleet finally arrived at the battle zone, led by Admiral Zexhai's command ship. Chen watched as the Catherian admiral's vessel took position near the Guardian's promise. Human fleet. This is Admiral Zexhai, came the communication. Request permission to join the attack. Permission granted, CO replied. Follow our targeting priorities and stay clear of our firing lanes. This is going to get very intense, very quickly. The combined human-alien fleet plunged into the battle, and Chen realized that everything she had believed about humanity's place in the galaxy was changing forever. The battle for the Vega system raged for 18 hours. Captain Sarah Chen had never seen warfare on such a massive scale. Hundreds of ships, from dozens of species, fought alongside the human Guardian fleet against an enemy that seemed endless. Enemy reinforcements arriving, called out the tactical officer aboard the Guardian's Promise. Reading another 300 devourer vessels entering the system, Admiral Hyunwoo Seo studied the tactical display with calm concentration. His face showed no fear, only the careful calculation of a man who had prepared for this moment his entire adult life. Signal all human ships, he ordered. Execute Formation Delta. Draw the main enemy force away from the populated areas. Chen watched as the 12 human battleships moved with perfect coordination. They had trained together for decades, and it showed in every maneuver. The alien ships tried to follow their lead, but they could not match the precision of the Guardian fleet. Admiral Zexhai is requesting instructions, reported the communications officer. Tell him to focus on protecting the evacuation ships, Seo replied. Human forces will engage the main enemy fleet. The Guardian battleships charged directly into the heart of the Devourer formation. Their weapons fired continuously, creating streams of energy that cut through enemy vessels like swords through paper. But for every Devourer ship destroyed, 2 more seemed to take its place. Sir, called out the tactical officer, we are detecting massive energy signatures approaching the system, something much larger than anything we have seen so far. The main display showed contacts that were almost too large to believe. Ships the size of small moons were moving toward Vega at incredible speed. Chen felt her courage wavering for the first time since the battle began. The main invasion force, Sio said quietly. They are ahead of schedule. How many? Chen asked. Enough to destroy every inhabited world in the galaxy, Sio replied. Unless we stop them here. He activated a general communication channel that reached every ship in the battle zone. All vessels, this is Admiral Sio of the Human Guardian Fleet. The main enemy force is approaching this system. We have one chance to stop them before they can spread throughout the galaxy. Admiral, came Admiral Zexhai's voice over the channel. What do you need us to do? I need you to trust us, Sio replied. And I need you to be ready to retreat if this plan fails. Sio turned to his crew. Signal the other Guardian ships. Initiate the Nova Protocol. Chen had never heard of the Nova Protocol, but she could see the effect it had on the human crew. Every officer and technician suddenly moved with new urgency and purpose. Whatever they were about to do, it was something they had trained for but hoped never to use. Captain Chen, Seo said, I need you to transfer back to your patrol ship. What we are about to do is dangerous, and there is no need for you to share the risk. What are you planning? Chen asked. The ancient technology that powers our ships comes with certain capabilities that we have never used, Seo explained. We can overload our engines to create energy releases that will destroy anything within 50 light minutes of our position. Chen felt her blood turn to ice. You are talking about suicide. We are talking about sacrifice, Seo corrected. The main Devourer fleet will be vulnerable while they are entering the system. If we can destroy them before they spread out, we can save the galaxy. How many enemy ships? Chen asked. Nearly 15,000 in the main force, Seo replied. They represent the bulk of the invasion. Without them, the advance forces cannot sustain their attacks. Chen looked around the bridge of the Guardian's Promise. Every crew member was working calmly and efficiently, preparing for a mission they knew would be their last. They were not heroes from the stories. They were ordinary people who had accepted an extraordinary responsibility. There has to be another way, she said. There is no other way, Seo replied gently. This is what we trained for. This is why we built these ships and spent 20 years in the darkness between stars. Not for glory or recognition, but for this moment. The transfer back to her patrol ship took only minutes, but it felt like hours. Chen watched through her viewports as the 12 Guardian battleships moved into perfect formation. They were beautiful vessels, representing the best of human engineering and determination. All Guardian ships report ready, came Admiral Seo's voice over the communication channel. Alien fleet, begin immediate withdrawal to safe distance. Execute on my mark. The alien ships began moving away from the human formation, but Chen could see that many would not escape the blast radius in time. The Devourer main fleet was entering the system like a dark cloud that blocked out the stars. Chen, came Seo's voice on a private channel. Tell them what we did here. Tell them why we did it. Help them understand that humanity never wanted to conquer anyone. We only wanted to protect them. I will, Chen promised, tears streaming down her face. Guardian Fleet, Seo announced. It has been an honor serving with you. For the galaxy, came the response from 11 other ships. The energy release was visible across dozens of star systems. The Guardian battleships vanished in a burst of light that turned the Vega system into a miniature star for nearly an hour. When the light faded, the Devourer main fleet was gone. 15,000 enemy ships had been destroyed in an instant. The remaining Devourer forces scattered immediately, retreating toward the galaxy's edge. Without their main fleet, they could not sustain their invasion. The galaxy was safe. 6 months later, Ambassador Min Jun Park stood before the Galactic Council once again. The chamber was filled with representatives who now looked at him with respect instead of suspicion. "The Guardian Memorial will be completed next year," he reported. 12 monuments, one for each ship and crew that saved our galaxy. They will stand as reminders of humanity's greatest gift to the Council: our willingness to sacrifice for others. High Counselor Thex Mora stood to address the chamber. "The Council recognizes Earth as a primary defender of galactic peace. Human ships will be welcome in any system, at any time. And human crews will lead our combined defense forces against any future threats." Min Jun felt pride and sadness in equal measure. Humanity had earned its place in the galaxy, but the cost had been 12 ships and 5,000 lives. Heroes who would never see the peace they had died to protect. "Mr. Ambassador," called out Counselor Zinara, "we have received distress signals from neighboring galaxies. Other species requesting assistance against invasion forces. What is Earth's response?" Minjun smiled, thinking of the new Guardian ships already under construction in secret shipyards around Earth. The galaxy had learned that humanity's greatest strength was not their technology or their weapons. It was their willingness to stand guard in the darkness, protecting others even when no one asked them to. "Earth's response," he said, "is the same as it has always been. We will stand watch. We will protect those who cannot protect themselves. And we will never let the darkness win." The chamber erupted in applause that lasted for nearly 10 minutes. Humanity had found its place in the galaxy as guardians and protectors, earning through sacrifice what they never could have taken through conquest.